nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Chief of Defense Staff says the military is treading with caution on the rescue of the kidnapped Chibok girls, confirms there's information on their location. Supreme Court throws out case against Delta Governor Emmanuel Uduaghan, gives final validation to his election as governor. Court to decide if the National Assembly has the powers to investigate Petroleum Minister Dezani Alison Madueke. And Ukrainian army launches air raids to regain control of Donetsk airport from pro-Russian rebels.
On business news tonight, the Naira trades flat against the dollar at the interbank as sales by oil companies ease pressure off demand for the greenback.
And on sports news tonight, Butemeta Primary School and Toyebad face off in the final of the 6th Channels National Kids Cup.
The Nigerian military today came out to say that the force will not be the best approach, and that's force will not be the best approach to rescue the Chibok girls and is not being considered for now. The Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, told angry protesters at the Defense Headquarters Abuja that the military knows what it's doing and the girls will be rescued. He said the military has information on the location of the girls, but is treading softly to get the students out.
The good news for the girls is that we know where they are, but we cannot tell you. Okay, we cannot come and tell you military secrets here. Just leave us alone. We are working. We will get the girls back. There are people from outside fueling this thing. That's why when Mr. President said we have Al-Qaeda in West Africa, I believe it 100% because I know that people from outside Nigeria are in this war. They are fighting us. They want to destabilize our country, and some people in this country are standing with the forces of darkness. No, we must salvage our country.
And in what seems to be a confirmation of the statement by the Chief of Defense Staff, the Minister of State for Defense, Musiliu Obanikoro, has given the assurance that the federal government is getting a grip of the insurgency in the country. Addressing delegates from the Royal College of Defense Studies in the United Kingdom, Mr. Obanikoro expressed appreciation for the help being offered to Nigeria by the United States and the United Kingdom. He, however, appealed to Nigerians to stop the criticism of the Nigerian military, but rather work together to bring the crisis to an end.
The British government and the United States government are given a helping hand in resolving this issue. As you all know, terrorism is a new thing in our history. We've never had this kind of experience. Yes, we've had religious crisis, but we've never had this kind of explosive, unpredictable situation that we are dealing with at the moment. And as you know, no matter how strong you are as a nation, if something is new, it takes a while to have a hold on it. And that explains why the initial hiccups that we have faced as a nation. But to date, I can say that we are beginning to have a strong hold on the situation at hand. And I want to assure you that we will ensure that we take advantage of all the opportunities to bring this to a closure.
Now, tomorrow is Children's Day, but for the coordinator of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, there is no cause for celebration. Hadiza Bala Usman has advised the federal and state governments not to do any celebrating until the Chibok girls are rescued.
Members of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign at their regular meeting point, the Unity Fountain. Once again, they hold deliberations on how to mount pressure on government to rescue the girls. Barely 1 hour into the meeting, the rains came down, but that did not in any way deter them.
Intelligence agents from all over the globe have poured into this city, Nigeria's capital, to help find the nearly 300 Nigerian schoolgirls abducted by the Islamist extremist group Boko Haram more than a month ago. But there has been little or no progress in bringing the young women home. The problem many involved in the rescue efforts say is the failings of the Nigerian military. There is a view among diplomats here and with their governments at home that the military is so poorly trained and armed and so riddled with corruption that not only is it incapable of finding the girls, it is also losing the broader fight against Boko Haram.
But these campaigners calling for the release of the Chibok girls are not alone, as another group, Nigerians United Against Terrorism, also took to the streets of Abuja asking members of the Boko Haram to release the abducted Chibok girls. The group took their campaign to the office of the Chief of Defense Staff, who promised that the military will remain resolute in its war against terror. In the last 1 week, so many groups calling for the release of the girls have sprung up. While one of the groups is calling on government to mobilize its military for the girls, others are asking the terrorists to release the girls unconditionally.
The Supreme Court has struck out an appeal filed by Mr. Great Ogboru, the DPP candidate in the 2011 Delta State governorship election, challenging the victory of Governor Emmanuel Udwaga. The 7-man panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice Walter Onogene, also ruled that it lacked jurisdiction to decide on the validity of sections of the Constitution on which it based its judgment, saying such an appeal should go to the High Court and not to the Apex Court. The Supreme Court had on 3 occasions dismissed the suit for failure to complete the hearing within the 60-day time frame stipulated by the Constitution.
Less than 1 year to the end of the administration of Governor Emmanuel Udwaga, his main opponent in the 2011 general election, Mr. Great Ogboru, filed a fresh application seeking to quash his election. Represented by Professor Dixon Oswola, Mr. Ogboru argued that Section 258 of the Constitution, which enabled the court to strike out his suit, was not validly enacted, a position that was rejected by the Apex Court, which for the 4th time struck out the suit. The panel, led by Justice Walter Onogene, says the suit amounts to a gross abuse of court processes and an affront to the entire judicial system.
And as far as I am concerned, if a law is invalid and unconstitutional, no benefit can accrue from it. I think the ruling captures the pace and agony of very vicious applications that are always coming to the Supreme Court on an issues that have been litigated upon over and over. This is the 4th or 5th time we are coming here for this same matter.
Reacting to the ruling, the Delta State government says the judgment will serve as a deterrent to lawyers who are in the habit of filing frivolous cases before the court.
It is the judiciary that the man is attacking, and they've made it clear today, and you can see the type of cost awarded tells all the story that don't ever come here again. We have never seen where this type of cost was awarded. 2 million naira to each, not the entire process. So the man has and he should pay it himself. I think that is novel.
We've long expected this, having regard to the antecedent of this matter. Certainly all lawyers and all courts guard against an abuse. And this is indeed an abuse in the extreme. And we hope and believe that the lawyer or the appellant will not come back to repeat this abuse as directed and ordered by the court.
Besides awarding $2 million to each of the respondents in this case, the court also warned that this should be the last time this case comes before it, as there must be an end to litigation. Amaka Okafu, Channels Television News.
Well, staying with legal matters, a federal high court in Abuja has ordered that the judiciary should henceforth take control of its budgeting without the influence of the executive arm of government. The court said this while delivering judgment today in a suit dated February the 1st, 2013, which was filed by a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Olisa Agbakoba. In the judgment, the presiding judge, Justice Ahmed Mohammed, declared as unconstitutional the practice of sending the judiciary's annual budget estimates to the budget office of the executive arm of government or any other executive authority. The court ordered that henceforth the budget of the judiciary would be prepared by the National Judicial Council and would no longer be part of the estimates to be included in the appropriation bill as proposed expenditure by the President, as is the present practice. In part two, after the break, the 67th World Health Assembly meeting closes in Geneva over 20 resolutions adopted. That's an